here, the 1st of February. It's the first day of Black History Month, and many families are wondering how to both celebrate but also educate themselves.
Yeah, the leader of a local nonprofit that helps kids of color improve their literacy with culturally relevant books is sharing some ideas with us this morning. Gevonee Ford is the executive director of the Network for the Development of Children of African Descent, or NDCAD. Good morning, Gevonee.
Good morning. So good to be with you.
Thanks for being here with us this morning. A lot of families are thinking about this on this first day of February, and we know that Black history can be celebrated year-round. I know you'll touch on that. First, though, man, this year it's different. Many cultural experts are expressing this year's Black History Month could look different, feel different than past years. What's so critical about this moment in time?
Wow. This truly is an unprecedented moment in time. I think that this moment is calling us to do some deep reflection, some deep affirmation, and for us to really step into what some would call a time of a hard reset, where we think about what from the past we want to bring into the future that we create together with our children. So indeed, this is truly a special moment in time that's full of possibility. There's been a lot of pain, a lot of challenge, but there's possibility.
We know the power of words. We know the power of reading, of course. In your perspective, what's the benefit? What's the power of reading African-American books? And you think it can lead to some community building, not just self-building or self-awareness, but community building. Explain a little bit about that.
Oh, most definitely. Reading African and African-American books are important for Black children, but also all children. We like to think about the purpose of reading is to actually develop and create meaning from what you read. So it's so much more than just engaging in decoding words, but it's really about engaging with what we're reading and helping our children make those critical connections between what they read about the contributions of Black people and connecting that to their everyday lives. And that's important for our children, but it's important for us as adults as well, so that as we are working to build community together, to build that beloved community that Dr. Martin Luther King talked about, that we are using the books to activate our imagination so that we can reimagine the world and communities that serve us all.
That is awesome. Gevonee, let's spend about a minute here to educate Minnesotans about some books that you wanted to share with us. For kids first, we'll start with a list of 5 books on the children's list, and then we'll get to the adults list. So let's talk about who's on your list for the 5 children's books you want to share with Minnesotans.
Well, there's so many incredible Black books out there. But just to name a couple, one is an exciting book called What Color Is My World by Abdul Jabbar Kareem. What I love so much about this book is some of the stories and impact that we've heard from children. There's one inventor in this book, George Crumb, who invented potato chips. And a while back, we got a corporate sponsor that allowed us to give away thousands of Black children's books. But one little boy, a 2nd grader, read this book, and his dream of becoming a cook and a inventor of recipes was like ignited. And when he read about George Crumb, he actually did a full book report and a presentation with an apron and a chef's hat for his school class. And his teacher was so moved, she wrote a letter to his mother, and his mother sent it to us, talking about how incredible his presentation was and how much he taught the classroom and taught her. And so that's just an example of the power of introducing and exposing our children to the contributions of Black people.
And Gevonee, as you talk about more lists on the children's books, more books on the children's list, I want to make sure that our viewers see that second list of books 3 through 5, if we can put that up, just so everybody has the books. I know you don't have time to talk about all of them, but you also want to make sure that adults have some options for reading. And you have very different books on this list. Share what's at the top of this list.
Well, at the very top of the list is a great book by Heather Andrea Williams. It's called Self-Taught, Education African American Education in Slavery and Freedom. The second book is a real short, quick read, but it's deep and meaningful, called The Community of Self. Both of these books are examples that lift up the importance of us adults engaging in our own self-education so that we can support our children in engaging in their own education.
Okay, let's put up the graphic there of the last 3 books that you chose from, and then just a couple of seconds left here. Your nonprofit NDCAD has launched a home learning kit, Gevonee. We just have a few seconds for you to share more about that for the public, for Minnesotans to buy eventually and hopefully share with the whole state.
Yeah, so this month we will be releasing our 3 home learning kits, which are designed to support and affirm families learning together. Ultimately, it's about supporting parents and children and all of us to reimagine what does education and what does learning look like. And so in these activity kits, there's coloring pages, there's research activities, there's discussion guides so that the whole family can engage in learning about the great contributions of African and African American people.
Yeah, good, great stuff.
Yeah.
There was so much focus on children's books, especially just a couple months ago, but I think it's a good a reality check too. Us adults need to keep up with this as well. It's not just for the kids and the next generation. Thanks so much. Really appreciate your time and all the important work that you guys are doing.
Thank you, Gevonee. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
For more information, visit their website, NDCAD, see it right there, .org. You can email also if you're interested in getting that kit. You can figure out the books that he was talking about, because I know we went through them pretty quickly,
Yeah.
but definitely
we tried to fit in as many as we could, right?